Hi there, Deadeye Delboy here, back with another video on the channel, and as you can see from the title, it's not all about good racing, this video. We've come across a guy here who I feel just deserves to be shown, what he's all about, because I'm pretty sure this guy has been doing this on other streams, and he's turning into a little bit of a mini Kimmy. We'll see. We'll see. He's certainly on the PS5 and terrorising our daily races. I think Kimmy is still on PS4, so he's terrorising you guys if you're watching and you're a PS4 player. But anyway, if you like the video, then hit that like button. Even better, hit the subscribe button, and help us get ever more close to that 2,000 subscriber mark. We might get there before the end of the year. Who knows? But yep, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, without saying anything else, let's go and jump into the race. So here we are, Daily Race C at Autopolis. We're in the Group 4 Mazda Atenza. The two cars in front are also in the Group 4 Mazda Atenzas, and most of the cars behind us are in the Group 4 Mazda Atenza. It is absolutely the OP Group 4 car at the moment, so yeah, if anybody from PD is watching, then I'm sure they're very aware of this, but it is an early stages sort of race for Gran Turismo 7. The BOP races this week are sort of probably being used by PD to test things out, just to see what cars have got what sort of powers and what capabilities. It's all very different from Gran Turismo Sport, so yeah, this is a bit of a bedding session for PD to try and get things balanced, and I'm sure they will eventually. But at the moment, if you want to have a chance of winning in this particular race, then really the Atenza is your best shot. The WRX can kinda compete, but the Atenza is definitely the go-to car if you're setting lap times and trying to compete the front end of the grid. So in front of us we've got a Frenchman, Bill Guide, and the UK driver Dan FN, and the two of them are very quick drivers. I could see that from their qualifying times. They were a good 3 or 4 tenths quicker than me in qualifying, and I set a pretty good time for my standards, a 53.6. So these guys, in fact I think I set a 53.5, and these guys were setting 53.2s. So I knew it was going to be hard to keep with them. And the driver behind me, Andre, the German driver, the race prior to this, we had a really good battle. He eventually just pipped me over the line by a couple of tenths, so I knew behind me, he was capable of keeping with me, but you see he's had an issue and he's dropping back all the way. So you see from the track map the gap is opening up, and you can see ahead of us that the two of them are having a right old battle early on. There's sort of no love lost here, and it's a 10 lap race, so the battle this hard with each other on lap 1, that to me suggests that there's perhaps something that's went before with these two drivers. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But that was my kind of suspicion, because generally speaking, in a 10 lap race, I'd be kind of working more together with the guy at the front to try and break away and then battle towards the end. But that's not how these guys have chosen to do it. You can see Dan making the move successfully there, getting back up to P1, well, getting up to P1. But Bale's not hanging about. He's going to make a move up the inside, and he gets it done. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but look how much we are able to close in on them because of that. So that's good news for us. So at this point in the race, I'm thinking, yep, keep at it, boys. Just use to keep doing what you're doing, and I will just sit back and hopefully be the benefit from the spoils. I don't even think that's a phrase. Anyway, so yeah, we are going to just try and keep as sort of tight as we can, and just kind of keep it going smooth as we can, because there's certain corners, the hairpin there being one of them, where you can lose a lot of time if you don't get it right. This right-hander again, this is a very easy corner to make a mistake on, and you can see how much time we kind of actually lost going down the straight there, because the rear end just kicked out as I was coming out of the hairpin, because I got the power down a little bit too quickly, a bit too eager. You've got to be really smooth on the acceleration if you want to get the most out of this car, and I wasn't particularly smooth at that point. I'm not particularly smooth at any points, to be honest with you, but yeah, we've lost a little bit of time there, so we're over a second behind him now, and that was a little bit frustrating. We've got that gap behind us though, we're not under any real pressure there, but these two guys are, you know, they're not holding back, and they seem to be pretty well matched in terms of pace. We're well out the slipstream now, but you know, we can only just do what we can do, you know, race our race and see what we get from it. You can see up ahead now, Dan's going to make a move into the turn 1. He did that the last lap and he was successful with it, and he does it again, and I'm assuming here that Bale is going to, you know, try and return the favour as he did in the last lap, but he's not quite got the run this time, so he's going to sit behind, and we are now going to try and, as I said, hit our apexes and hit our marks and hope that we can, you know, reap the rewards of that. But right away I can see that it's going to be difficult, because these two guys don't look like they're going to make mistakes, and if they're now going to start working together, is what I'm thinking, we will struggle to keep with them as they just use each other's slipstreams, pull away. You can see though, Bale's went wide, and that's going to cost him, because that is a track cut, and there's normally a penalty when you do that, and there it is, a 1 second penalty. So he's also got dirty tyres and runs way wide. We actually take the hairpin really well this time, and look at that, we're right on his tail now. But he's not going to serve the penalty on this lap, so we need to now just kind of play it cool, just try and, you know, stay with him as close as we can. If we can stay right on his bumper, then great. Give him a little tap there, but you know, nothing much I could really do. He was slowing up a lot getting into that corner, probably because his tyres were still a little bit dirty, but we don't push it, we don't force him wide or anything, we just, you know, let him have the position, and you know, we're just going to try and stay with him, but he's going very wide. I don't know if he was just kind of really annoyed or at himself, but his driving just became, you know, quite erratic from this point, because he was missing a lot of his apexes. I know he's obviously going to try and push now to try and get as much of a gap between myself and him as possible, because he's going to serve that penalty, and that's going to be obviously very costly to him. So we're just going to kind of fake have a look down the outside as we're closing in on him, but we're not going to go do anything silly. Like I said, I want to try and capitalise on his penalty. There's no major benefit for me to fight with him, because that'll only bring P4 into the race, and I still want to maintain that gap behind, so I'm quite happy just to sit, just to use Bill's slipstream, because he runs way wide there, but it's getting more and more difficult to just sit, because he is making a few mistakes now, and we're closing right in on him. As you can see, there's bumper to bumper action now. So this is the corner that he messed up in the previous lap. We're going to see if it comes back to haunt him again. We go a little bit wide there, miss the apex, don't really get onto the curb, but it's fine. We've got the gap that we wanted to have running up to the hairpin. Bale's going defensive. He didn't need to, because I was never going to make the move there. He goes narrow. We take the wider line to get the better exit. Bale actually does do a pretty good job of getting on the power. I was quite wary of not leaving my back end out again, and we go right through him to maximise the slipstream, and out we go. So that's us. We've picked up the position now, and we really just want to try and consolidate that, but it's going to be difficult, because Bale is a quick driver, and he will want to get that position back as quickly as possible. You'll be able to see here, if we take a quick look back, that we've got the German Twitch G52. He's kind of come into the race a little bit. I'm not sure what his pace is like, whether he'll be able to stay with us or not, as we go a little bit wide there, but we get a nice cut back onto the curb and over the apex. So coming across the line now for the end of the 4th lap, and you can see there we've managed to open up a little bit of a gap there between ourselves and Bale. So if we skip forward now, here we come over the line to start lap 6, and you'll see now that we have dropped the German, and we've got a nice gap between ourselves and Bale coming into the start of this lap, although we do take that corner a little wide, and Bale was now closing in on us a little bit. Pressure, as I said, and I wasn't really feeling it, because you know, it's a daily race. I'm quite comfortable in the daily race, in the Atenza in these races, so you know, I thought to myself that we've got good pace, reasonable enough pace in the race anyway, which is unusual for me because normally my qualifying is good and my race pace is terrible. But doing not too bad in this race, although Dan he's gapped us ahead. We've obviously had some issues to deal with, but P1 is long gone, so unless he has an almighty disaster, then we have at least, I would at this point say, P3 in the bag as we come round the hairpin. But you'll just see here we get shoved a little bit wide there, and then this happened. And to be honest with you, when I watch back, it's just absolutely horrific from Bill there. Now, go back and we'll look at it from his point of view, and we'll probably get a better view of what happened here. So he's pretty far back, he's not really able to go for it, but he just decides to push me out of the way there, and just to add injury to insult, he just shoves me off onto the grass. So I just wanted to see that actually from the chase cam, because you can probably see just how far he shoves me onto the grass here, and I mean it's absolutely deliberate. So luckily for me, we managed to keep the car on the track. We're going to now have a bit of pressure from the guys behind, and yeah, well, it was just very, very annoying. But luckily the penalty system, as you can see, has done its job. He's got a 4-second penalty for that, which is absolutely brilliant to see. That's the kind of penalty that does hopefully deter moves like this, because I'm going to hopefully get that position back because of that penalty. So in the old system, GT Sport, no penalties, he would have been long gone. He would have suffered a little hit in his SR, probably wouldn't have bothered though, and I would have just been left to be frustrated at the end of the race. So skipping forward, you can see here, lap 7, he's about to serve his penalty, 4 seconds. He's managed to actually open up a little bit of a gap, because I had dirty tyres for a few corners after it, and you know, I lost quite a lot of time because of it, but we go right through him there, and we have got the position back. But we do go a little bit wide, a couple of tyres onto the dirt. We managed to save it, but Beale is still behind us, although he's got the German to battle with. He's ghosting out because of how close he was to the German, but he's probably got the bit between his teeth again and looking for a little bit of, well, I was going to say payback, but I didn't do anything wrong to him, so I don't know what his problem was. Anyway, so we've got the position back, that's the main thing, and we can concentrate and focus now on trying to keep that position as we end lap 7. Again, skipping forward, we're going to jump now to the penultimate lap, lap 9. You can see here we've got Bill back in our, well, he's never really left our tail, so I'm trying to break the slipstream a little bit there as we come into turn 1, just going a little bit wider than I wanted to. Tyres getting a little bit more worn now, although the tyre wear wasn't much. You'd still feel it a little bit at this point. But Bill is pretty much, yeah, he's right on our tail, so I'm thinking at this point I'm just going to try and, you know, hit my apexes, just make my car nice and wide, hold on to the P2. P1 is miles down the road, like I said. Barring a catastrophe, he's got the position in the bag. So you can see here how close we're getting now as Bale's going right up in my bumper coming through that corner. And yeah, I was just thinking, just ignore what's behind us, just hit the apexes and do what you need to do. And you can see there we have quite a good exit out of there. We've managed to put a bit of clear space between ourselves and Bale. So we're coming into the hairpin again, go up and down, take it nice and wide, and then come round. But we've been hit again by Bale and forced wide again. Now, once you could maybe put down a mistake, 2 is just absolute filth, to be honest with you, and he's hit with a 3-second penalty for his troubles. So worth taking another look here. Chase cam, watching Bill's point of view, you can see he's got absolutely no intention of giving me any space there, almost trying to run me off onto the dirt again. And it made me actually think that he was maybe thinking, maybe I'll just hit him and not send him off onto the dirt and I won't get a penalty. I don't know. But he seems to be determined to try and test the penalty system to its full limits. And to be honest with you, I'm absolutely delighted that the penalty system is working the way it's working at the moment. I'm sure it's not perfect, far from it, and it can be tweaked, but those are the types of penalties we want to see. A little bit of door banging, a little nudge, a little love tap, you know, the things that don't cost positions I can accept, but those types of manoeuvres where you're just absolutely using the other car as a brake and, you know, you've got no intention of leaving them any space on the exit, then yeah, absolutely all for it. Now, he's had 7 seconds worth of penalties for hits against me when he's in P2, but I know at least that I'm going to get that position back. And if we skip forward, come out the hairpin, you can see we're closing right in on him, and we are indeed going to get that position back. And again, we'll just drive right through him, just because that's the manoeuvre I do to show somebody I'm frustrated with what they've done to me. But anyway, we get the position back. Bale's demoted down into 3rd position. He can try and fight for that. We've got the P2 that we wanted, and I feel deserved from this race. And yeah, it all worked out well in the end. But that guy, now, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can let me know in the comments, I think that is Billy the Kid, or Billy Kid, I believe his name is, and he has been, you know, filthy on other streams. So this seems to be a guy that's in the mould of your Kimi Velicinis, somebody who just does not care, to be honest with you, by the looks of it, and will push things to the limit and destroy other folks' races. So yeah, we've managed to beat him though. P2, I'll take that. Watch out for Bale Guide though if you're out there on track. He must be a PS5 player, because I'm on the PS5, so if you're on PS4 then you're safe, you just need to deal with Kimi. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then, you know, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and it would be awesome if you made the channel help the channel grow a little bit. But until the next time, I will see you guys, and stay safe out there with this guy on the track. I'll catch you all on the next one. Goodbye.